we'll do the live thing first. Like, hey everybody, welcome back to the Bigmark podcast. It's me, your host, Bigmark. If it's your first time watching, welcome. If not, welcome back. Like I always say, if you ever wanted to reach out to the podcast for any reason, if you wanted to come on and join us here as a guest on the episode, or let us know if you wanted to hear a new topic or anything like that, let us know in the DMs, in the comments, hit us up on Instagram or Twitter at the Bigmark Pod or at the Bigmark Podcast. Either way, we want to hear from you. I want to see the community grow, the Bigmark podcast listener community grow, and I don't know if I've ever actually came up with a name for the fans. There's a lot of like other podcasts I listen to, they have like a name for their fans, I know History Hyenas, which is one of the show's favorite podcasts, one of my favorite podcasts anyway. They call their fans the matriarchy because they're hyenas and they're matriarchal. So anyway, there's all these different things. Chris D'Elia's fans are called the babies, unfortunately. Anyway, but I haven't figured out one for the Bigmark podcast. Let me know if you can think of a good one. But no, I'm super excited. Again, to have all you here, like I always say, and thank you all for supporting and being here. And that's the best way you guys can possibly support the podcast, is by listening and then telling your friends and then liking and subscribing and doing all that fun stuff. But if you ever did want to go that extra mile, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/BigmarkPod. A couple different ways you can support the podcast there. So thank you all for being here so much. And yeah, excited to talk about today's episode too, because this is one thing I've done for a couple years now, but I guess it's never really come up. I think I've talked about it briefly in around the Christmas time episodes when they come around. But my place of employment, where I work every day, is called Escarpment Labs. Great, amazing place to work. Actually, we have I co-host a podcast there too, the Escarpment Labs podcast. So if you ever want to hear more Bigmark in a different context, check out the Escarpment Labs podcast. But like I said, it's a great place to work for many reasons. But one of the best things we do is that around every Christmas, we do this little program to kind of give back to the community, and it is in Guelph. My place of employment, like I said, Escarpment Labs, is located in Guelph. But I did get this idea when part of the community investment group at Escarpment Labs, and when we were coming up with doing something for Christmas, I kind of came up with this idea a couple years ago now, 3 years ago, I guess. And I said, hey, when I used to work as a personal trainer at Momentum Fitness in Hamilton, what we used to do is adopt it. So this program, let me not get too far ahead of ourselves here. It's called the Adopt a Family Program. The Adopt a Family Program is run through the Children's Foundation, and there's children's foundations in all different cities. I'm pretty sure all over North America, but obviously at Escarpment Labs, we're working with the Children's Foundation of Guelph and Wellington, and they have this Adopt a Family Program, which is again essentially a community outreach program where you can provide gifts and toys for kids during Christmas time when they need it. Again, there's all types of food drives and there's all types of money donations and all these different things, but this way you can kind of add a little extra sparkle to these kids in trying times. And they basically have a little wish list that the Children's Foundation gives out and the families fill out, and then we get back some information. Once you sign up for the program, the Children's Foundation assigns you 1 or 2 or 3, how many families you'd like, but they assign you a family, and then they give you some information on that family. So it'd be like mom and dad, a number of kids, it'd be like mom and dad, 3 kids, and each kid's name, how old they are, if they're a boy or girl, and if they want, what their favorite colors are, and what 3 things that they want, kind of thing. So when I used to work at the at the gym, what we would do is we'd essentially kind of look to our members to help out here. So we would adopt a bunch of families and take the wish list, split it up and write it on little cards and hang those cards on the Christmas trees, like the little fake Christmas trees we'd put up in the gym space. And we'd hang them there, and we'd encourage our members to grab a card, take the card home with you so you know what to get, buy the gift, bring it back, and put it under the tree. Again, the gym was secure. It was 24-hour gym, but you could only get in there by key card. So like when people were like dropping stuff off, it wasn't weird. And it was really cool because there'd be presents under the tree, and it would, slowly but surely that would grow, and it was really special. And always a really cool and fun way to kind of actually see, like, sometimes when you're donating to charity too, you're just donating money, and sometimes you don't really see the final end or where exactly that lands with the family. I mean, you don't necessarily see the families get these gifts that you give to with the Adopt a Family program, but again, at least you know what they're getting and exactly where this money's going. So when I was talking about it a few years ago with Escarpment Labs, I kind of said, okay, well, we can kind of just do it the other way. We'll all, each person at Escarpment Labs pitch a little bit of money, and then we can all go and buy the gifts, and then we can just give it to them as one big unit. And Escarpment Labs was gracious enough and generous enough to match whatever us as employees raised. I think we raised like $11.85 this year. So, almost, 22.40 or whatever, or something like that. Anyway, 23.40, something like that. Good chunk of change. It was really nice. Super proud of the team to get that much coin together. And, it's kind of one of those things too, where it's like, you kind of, hope for the best and all these things as far as what people are going to donate and how they're going to donate. But it is really special to see when you actually finally get this money. And I remember the first year we did it at Escarpment Labs, we raised about that much, just over $2,000, I think, but we only got one family. I think we were maybe late to the game or something, but we only got one family from the Adopt a Family program. So they got like all this money. We ended up going to a sport check at Stone Road Mall in Guelph, and there was a girl working there, Sophie or something like that. Anyway, she was working there, and she gave us her employee discount. Like, we went off. We got these kids like Helly Hansen hats and gloves and like Columbia jackets and like good quality boots. Like, these kids and the family we got, and it gives you a little description. The family it was their first winter in Canada, and it was like all this stuff where it's like, oh my God, let's help these kids out as much as we can. I'm pretty sure there was like, polar vortex and stuff that year and all these different things. So it's like, let's outfit these kids. And our accountant lady, Lisa, who used to work with us, she came out with me, and we did the shop, and it was really fun. And you have all these clothes and toys and stuff at the end of it, and you just feel like Santa Claus. And it's a really special thing. And last year I did it all on my own, completely solo, and I kind of felt like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Jingle All the Way, just like running from store to store, obviously, of course, leaving it to the last minute because you got to get the money first and whatever. But then they also want you to hand in the gifts early because they have to deal with it. And it's really great. I mean, they have great volunteers. I was just reading on their website here. They have like 68 volunteers that help. But there's like over 1,600 families last year. Over 1,600 families and 3,650 children and youth were helped last year. But yeah, there's 68 volunteers that help organize everything, right? Because like you're bringing all this stuff. There's receipts. There's tax stuff. There's like all these different things, right? Because it's usually a decent chunk of change you're going to be given to these kids. I don't know if there's like a minimum, but they also don't want you to just show up and do the bare minimum. These kids are asking for like, the one family we were helping out this year was asking for kids tablets, like, luckily we just threw a couple Amazon purchases on the card and everything was tickety boo. But it's one of those things where there's only so much money, and sometimes, you wish you had all the money in the world, and eventually you do have to kind of make some decisions here and there with the kids stuff and be like, all right, who's getting what? And the one family we were helping this year had single mom and 5 kids. So then you want to split up the money with all the kids, and you want to spend the same on each kid, but then they're asking for different things. So like, a little kid asking for toys and stuff, you could spend $200 on a bunch of toys. They're going to get a huge lot. And then one of the older kids is asking for an Xbox game or something or whatever. And it's or Xbox gift card to use, but it's just like a straight up little gift card. And we got him a sweater. But again, it's one of those things where, you can only go so far, right? And then the parents do get to throw a little thing on there. Usually they're asking for a gift card, or I remember the first year we did it, they asked for grocery store gift cards, and we ended up giving them a frig. Oh my gosh. I think it was like a $400 Zayres gift card or something back then. Like, it was great because, again, we had all this money to throw around with all these. And that's the thing, you ask these people, and I had some help when I was doing a lot of the shopping this year too. When you actually do mention that you are doing it for charity, sometimes you get a little deal. And we actually ended up doing that at Walmart, and then I did it at M4 Card Shop in Hamilton. I don't know if I've mentioned them before. They're a great little establishment. Actually, a friend of mine, a couple girls I used to work with at the brewery, the Perot sisters. One of the one sister, her boyfriend is one of the owners of M4, and he's a great guy. Sports and Pokemon and memorabilia shop are mostly cards, but again, they got graded cards and sports and any collectibles. I think Magic and One Piece and all that shit too, but like mostly Pokemon, mostly sports that I've seen in there. Because one of the kids on the list was asking for Pokemon cards, and I'm like, I'm gonna hook this kid up. You've heard me talk about cards on the podcast before. And I go to the stop, and I told them what the deal was, and this kid was asking for a carrying case, and they didn't actually have any for sale at the time. And I was like, oh shoot, it's all right, I'll find some. But he's like, no, hold on, let me look. And they actually had one that they were using, but like, didn't need anymore, or were generous enough to give that for free, so the kid's gonna get that. So you just get so happy, and it's so nice to do this, even though it's like, it's sometimes hard to balance the money, the checkbook, so to speak, sometimes, because you want to spend all the money that you get, right? Because like everyone donated this money, it's not like we're going to give it back or like give them change or anything. And I got like the company card, so I was able to use that with impunity, which was great, and that's going to help out so much more with all the tax stuff and all the bookkeeping at the end of the day, like I said. So yeah, it was great fun. Got everything for everybody. It's kind of funny sometimes what these kids ask for. You kind of go like, I don't know. Because one of the kids, like, he lives in a house of 5, 17 years old. He asked for a dartboard. But they didn't say dartboard and darts. Now, you might be saying, Mark, why didn't you get him fucking darts? Obviously, he's not going to be able to use the dartboard without darts. But my look was, listen, kid's 17. He's got a younger sister who's 6, a younger brother who's 3, and a disabled older brother, like, and another younger brother who's 10. So he's got younger kids running around. I'm sure he can, if he has a room that he can put it in, that's fantastic. But if not, I don't know. Maybe his mom doesn't want him throwing darts. And obviously she was probably involved too. She was probably the one who actually made the list. But darts aren't very expensive. They're under $20. You can buy 3 darts and use your darts. But everything comes with gift receipts too. So my thinking was, I'm going to get him a proper dartboard. The kid might love darts, might have his own darts already. Might have ruined a dartboard already. He just wants a replacement. Like, that's what the thing is. If he has a dartboard already and you're using it, like, eventually you put enough holes in the thing and it fucking goes to shit. So like, that's what I mean. He might just want the dartboard if he's just asking for the dartboard. And if not, hopefully some of those gift cards might be able to help, or maybe some of the pressure we took off them can allow them to buy a new set of darts as well. Now, like I said, mind you, if the mom's like, nay, we don't want this dartboard here and darts flying around, or he wanted like a magnetic one that you'd like hang on the back of your door in your dorm room or whatever and just fucking chill with it, right? So anyway, like I said, sometimes it's weird decisions you have to make, and you want to balance everything. And like I said, the tablets we got, like, who knows, maybe they're going to be shitty, but it's like one of those things like, well, maybe we could have spent all the $200 on a tablet, but they're not getting anything else. They're not getting any clothes. You know, they're not getting anything that's like at least moderately useful. Again, I understand this side of the donations for Christmas are a little bit more of, you know, giving the kids a little bit of something they want more so than what they need. But at the same time, you know, you want a little bit of practicality, at least from the parents' perspective, I'm sure, too. I mean, even one of the speakers that I got the kid, he asked for a portable party speaker. And when I did Google that, it did come up as like one of those like karaoke with the lights, and there's like a mic and everything. And it was like, is that what he means? Like, you know, like that? Or does he just mean like a small portable speaker that you can bring around for like, you know, parties kind of thing, not like a full jam? I don't know. It's always hard with these things, right? But again, like I said, you only have so much money to throw around, and it's not your money. Don't get me wrong. But again, you just don't want to go too far over just for the company's sake. And also you don't want to go under and not use enough. But the best way to do it, if anyone is listening and wants to do this, I hope I inspire someone. If you're listening now, it could be too late. There is other ways to donate to the Children's Foundation. You can just do a cash donation as well. But if there is still time in your community for going out and running and grabbing some stuff for a family and helping out just one more family, the best way I looked at it is, again, you get your total amount of donations or the total amount of money you want to spend on it, split that up equally amongst the kids and the parents. You just use the parents kind of as one unit, like mom and dad, as one unit kind of thing. But split that money up between the kids and the parents, and then go through each kid, do your best to find what they want and get what they want, and also spend, you know, their allotted amount without going over too much, but again, not going under. And then whatever does go over, just take that out of the parents' allotment. Just knock that down a little bit. And, you know, again, obviously you want to see the parents get stuff. You don't want to see them get nothing. So that's what I mean. You got to still be careful. But if it's $10 over, you know, you just nab it from the parents. Yeah, God bless the parents. What people do for their kids, eh? I said what we do for their kids. Not yet. Anyway, thank y'all for listening. Honestly, I think I can't really speak more about this program other than it's one hell of a way to feel like Santa Claus during the Christmas season. So if you want to do that, and if it's not too late, sign up for this program, or at least look into it for next year. There might even be something like it in all year round too. It might not just be around Christmas. But again, like I said, it's such a great program where you get to kind of see at least where your donations are going and know that they're going to get to a place, and, you know, hopefully make people's situation that might not be such a great situation, hopefully make their Christmas season a lot brighter, and know that there's good people out there that are trying to help them out too. So thank y'all for listening. Go out there and adopt a family, or look into the program, the Children's Foundation. Remember, everybody, check it out. There's probably one in your neighborhood, in your local city or area. And yeah, give the kids a little fun and a little escape this Christmas. Anyway, thank y'all for listening. Merry Christmas. Hopefully we'll do a few more Christmassy themed ones, but this is just the start of great things. First week of December, and we'll see you next week of December. Bye, everybody. Peace.